Okay, good afternoon. We got Gels and Gels Talk Sports today. We're going to go over UFC 285, the return of Johnny Bones Jones. How's it going, Zach?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing?
Yeah, we're doing good. Doing good. I see you guys get some bad storms coming down the Oklahoma City area tonight.
Yeah, tornado
Yeah, hope it doesn't blow you away to Kansas, man.
and exciting
Yeah,
stuff.
exactly. Yeah. Well, I can tell you it's very exciting here in Ohio today.
Oh yeah, I believe that.
Yeah, I've had a cold and I've got off the couch a couple times, so doing good.
Rockstar.
Yeah. Yes, sir. So what do you think about Bones Jones' return?
Well, I think if you have YouTube, you got to go watch the countdown. They do it before the big pay-per-view fights. It's just kind of like a um I don't know what you'd call it, but it leads up to the fight, shows them training and what they think about the fight. Jones, he's a stud. Yeah, we all know that. He's had some stuff outside of the octagon kind of screw him up, but he looks like he's definitely ready to come back. He looks dangerous. I think a guy like Cyril, he's super talented. Watching him come up, just beating everyone up. Um, but Jones, he's just a different guy. He hasn't fought for what 3 years now. I think it
Yeah,
was January of 2020 when he fought last. So I don't think that'll be as big of an issue as people are making it out to be. But I think he definitely has something to prove. Um, Definitely not a guy I would want to stand in front of and have to fight. He's just a freak, physically and uh, super tall guy, super long limbs, and the way he gets it to where it needs to go, the way he uses his knees and elbows, and Gon's the same way. They kind of mirror each other striking wise, but Jones has the wrestling. So I think that'll be the difference is him taking him down and beating him up.
yeah. I think that when it comes to Johnny Bones Jones, he at 205, he had that incredible length, you know, arms, legs. He's very unorthodox with his style as well. He also had that controversial hand in the face where he was pawing all the time.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
like that. It was it's actually not too bad of an idea. I know he had a lot of eye pokes, but you're trying to fight someone and he just sticks his hand in your face
Yeah.
like this. He said he's gauging his range, but in reality, you can't really hit him because
Yeah.
it's like an 84-inch reach, I think.
Yeah, it's something insane like that.
Yeah.
And you know,
So
with that pawing that he does, it's not illegal. It's only
no,
illegal uh if the ref calls it a eye poke illegal. Most of the time they call it accidental, but it could definitely frustrate your opponent.
oh yeah, because you try to swipe his hand out of the way, he'll throw a right hand over the top. So
Yeah,
you can't really do anything. Or one thing I love watching his old fights, he'll grab uh the guy's arm, he'll grab it down, pull it, and then he'll step in with the elbow like that. Um he does that.
he's also got that spinning reverse elbow.
Yeah, yeah. That guy, he uses his elbows better than anybody I've ever seen.
Yeah, he
Um,
does. It's like you know, he's got that incredible range where he can get you from distance, but if he's real close inside, and you know, conventional wisdom says as you close the distance on a guy like that with that range that you can hurt him. But he's got
yeah,
that elbow, uh just it's amazing what he can do.
he's so quick and he snaps his kicks really well. Um, he's really fun to watch, and I'm excited to see him. But with Gone, I'm just worried, thinking he'll try to kick the legs too much. See, I don't know if you remember the Thiago Santos fight
Yeah, I was just looking
where
that up, that and the Reyes.
yeah, so when he Santos did something no one really did before. He kicked his legs out really bad, and he
Mhm.
was winning that fight, and then he blew out both of his ACLs.
Yeah.
And
Gosh, that
um,
sucks. So
yeah, he was on his way to at least making it a competitive fight until then. Gon likes to kick though, but the only problem is I think you kick a guy like Jon Jones, he's gonna grab your leg and take you down. And we saw with Gon against Francis Ngannou
mm,
that he can get taken down and controlled. Ngannou isn't a wrestler, but he just held him there for the last 3 rounds. So I think I really like Cyril Gahn. I want to be a fan of Jon Jones. It's kind of hard to because, some of the silly stuff that he's done, but I think he has something to prove. He's going to bust him up Saturday. I really do.
by the time we get to this fight, it'll have been over 3 years since his last one, and I'm looking at his record right here, and he fought DC in the second fight in July of 2017. It was that long ago, and he had the rematch versus Gus, and then the three close fights with Anthony Smith, Thiago Santos, and Dominic Reyes, and two of those could have gone either way.
Yeah.
Jones is only 35. It seems like he's been around forever and ever, and he has been. If you look back on his history, but it makes you wonder if that octagon rust, how much of a part that's going to play, and in particular because he's going up to heavyweight. It was one thing at 205. He's probably 225 at fight day. Guys like Cyril, these guys are they're natural 250,
Right.
and
Yeah.
it's going to be interesting to see if he's got that power, if he's able to bring that quickness up from light heavyweight.
Right. Yeah. I don't know what to think about the weight change and all that because most heavyweight guys, light heavyweight rather, they're heavyweights that cut weight pretty
Yeah,
much. Like those guys walking around, they're 240 or so. Um, Only difference is now you don't have to um, cut any weight. I watched some videos about DC when he moved up to heavyweight. He said he still cut weight for fights, which I thought was very interesting. But between those two guys fighting Saturday, I don't think that'll be something that they do. But it'll be interesting to see him. He won't be as fast. That just comes with putting on the weight
mm-hmm.
and muscle. But more power. Um, I think he's gonna win. I don't know if we'll get a finish. Um, but I think his wrestling and getting up close will really be a big deal because he'll use his elbows and trips and Gon does have a shot where I'm at least talking about how he doesn't really have much going for him. But I mean the guy's amazing. He's so fun
Yeah,
to watch. Just a fantastic striker. He's only been in MMA for 5 years now.
yeah, he's still growing in the business, and I mean,
Yeah.
um, if you think about it, he's one of these new kind of
And
prototype heavyweights.
yeah.
Is for years in the heavyweight division, you had the big lumbering guys, you had the Tim Sylvias and Andre Arlovsky, guys like Brock Lesnar. Cyril is a guy who moves like a welterweight out there.
Yeah.
So you've got that, plus you've got this guy in Bones Jones, who by any definition is definitely in the GOAT list or GOAT discussion in mixed martial arts. So it's going to be fun to watch. Looking forward to it. Part of me wants to see Cyril knock him out just so I can laugh a little bit, but all the outside the octagon stuff aside, I have to respect Johnny Bones Jones for coming back 3 years, moving up to heavyweight,
Right.
try to do something that just incredible. Be fun
Dare
to
to be
watch.
great,
Yeah,
dare to be
yeah,
great. Yeah, I think I really respect him for that. I do like Cyril. I think he's a nice guy and really fun to watch. Um I think Jones would be too much. Um especially with that wrestling, he's not going to be able to stop that very well. I think the way he could win is their reach is somewhat similar, which is, that hasn't really happened to Jones since he fought
Yeah.
Gus. So it'll be interesting to see him use his kicks at range and his jab. He has a really good jab. That could mess up Jones a little bit. But
Well, it
if
was
I had to,
if you go
sorry, go
back
ahead.
to the Nagano fight, Cyril was pretty much in control there the first 2 rounds, and then Francis changed his tactics and went to wrestling, which nobody expected.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it makes you wonder if that was a lack of preparation on Cyril's team. They just never expected it. I know that you and we talked about this. We never expected to see him go try to out wrestle Cyril, but he did.
yeah. I mean, that was just a championship adjustment that they made.
Yeah.
In those 45 seconds or so that you're sitting down between rounds, and you're like, hey, you know what? Just take this guy down. Like we train this because everyone does train in every single aspect now, but um, he's definitely had to touch that up ever since that fight, especially for this upcoming one.
Yeah.
But I kind of liked what you said with the heavyweights because Cyril, guys like Cyril and Tom Aspinall, even Tai Tuivasa,
Mhm.
they're just these faster guys that are more well rounded, and guys like Derek Lewis are getting left behind.
Yeah.
Because it's not about throwing the big shots and then whoever isn't gassed out wins. It's not like that anymore. You have to have that skill, and it's just gonna. I think give it 5 or 6 years, every single heavyweight will be kind of like a Cyril Gone, kind of. Well, at least the high level guys that are ranked, will be like him. Um, but yeah, I mean, you can't rely on one thing anymore. Um, but it should be a good fight. I'm excited for it just to see those two in there. That's going to be not much space in that octagon. Those are some large guys.
Yeah, not for those two guys. Yeah, it's going to be
Um,
something.
I'm super excited for that. Looking at the rest of the card, Derek Brunson's back. Um, who else we got? We got
Yeah,
Cody
Cody
Garbrandt.
Garbrandt, former champions back.
Yeah, he's always fun to watch. He might get his head knocked off, but he'll give you a fun fight.
Yeah. Of course,
Um,
we got the champ coming in, Valentina.
yeah, she had that last fight. We talked about this a while ago, but she's so good. She tries to beat you at what you're good at.
Yeah.
And that almost cost her the last fight. So this Grasso girl, she's good, but she's just a boxer, pure boxer. And in stand up, you're not going to beat Valentina.
Yeah, I was looking
So
at ESPN here. Valentina is a minus 625 favorite in this fight. That's a lot.
yeah,
It's bordering on crazy, but it makes you wonder. Valentina has been so good that maybe she was due for a lackluster appearance like she did last time. And I would fully expect to see her come out and dominate this fight and finish it inside of 3 rounds.
oh yeah, I agree 100%. That happens though as champs. You were talking about Jones fighting Santos and Smith and
Mhm.
Reyes. They weren't like beat downs and like, oh man, this is just they were simply outmatched. Like they were closer fights, and it doesn't mean that he isn't the greatest still. Even I like Izzy a lot, but he had some kind of performances against Cannonier and even Vittori. I'd say the second Vittori fight wasn't the greatest, but
Yeah, this
uh,
goes back to some of the other longtime champs. Anderson Silver, George St. Pierre.
yeah,
During their
GSP,
during their dominant runs, they had some times where, as a fan, we're sitting there watching him. We want to see him finish.
right?
And unanimous decision, UD, another UD. Like, hey, what's going on? But then we come back to them because they're so great.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, neither of us will ever be in a professional fight hopefully no fight at all. I don't like I
Not
don't want to hurt
anymore.
anyone.
No.
Yeah, I don't want to hurt anybody or get hurt. I don't want that. But it's so hard. These guys are the best in the world. They can rip every single Norman. Sorry, I can't speak. Human being in half. And we take that for granted sometimes. We're like, this guy sucks. Yeah, well, he might have a bad performance, but he would knock you out in 2 seconds. These are
Yeah.
the best guys in the world. So it's hard to get a finish against these best guys, but at the highest level in a championship fight against the guys that have made their way up the rankings, it's so hard to finish those guys. That's why it's so impressive to watch a guy like Islam
Hmm.
and Charles when he was a champ. Even Usman, he started knocking dudes out.
Yeah.
Um, it's super impressive to see, these are two of the best guys matched together and you can get them out of there. Um, super impressive. So, when it's a decision win, you got to realize like it's not always guaranteed you're gonna finish a guy. It's
Yeah.
just not like that.
If we go back to the early days of MMA before you had the Ultimate Fighter, back when there weren't really any rules, there was UFC and there was a Pride Fighting Championship in Japan, and it's evolved over time. Obviously, you've had the rise of the Eastern European fighters like Khabib, Islam, and let me tell you, if they've got somebody over there who's 6'4", make no mistake, they'll be invading the heavyweights pretty soon.
Oh yeah, I mean, we saw. I think his name is Sergey Pavlovich. I think that's his name. He just put away Tuivasa a couple
Yeah,
months ago.
yeah, yeah.
Um, that guy, he's fighting Curtis Blades next. That's a great matchup. But that guy, he's one of those lab grown Russian dudes. Um, as much as I don't like them, they're good at fighting people.
They're
So
amazing. Yeah,
yeah, but
yeah,
with Jones, super excited for that. It'll be good. He's kind of one of those guys that you stop and stare a little bit. When he's fighting, he's fighting.
mm.
It doesn't sneak up on you like, oh, Jon Jones fighting. No, it's like this way ahead of time. So I
Yeah.
think it'll be
This is a huge thing for his legacy, because if
yeah,
he comes into this fight after being gone for 3 years, after all the negative publicity just in that time, and all the negativity between or from his last fight before that he's had, if he comes in and he gets dominated by Cyril, it's going to be just horrible. People are going to just dump all over him,
yeah.
and he is definitely, without a doubt, one of the best that's ever been inside the octagon. And I think at age 35, he's not like some of these guys. Who do we see on a card? Was that last week Jim Miller? I think he's
Ah,
up to like 45 fights in the octagon by now.
yeah, yeah. It's crazy.
Well, Jon Jones, he's kind of like a NFL quarterback or player that set out the COVID year or something like that. So he's got less wear and tear on him over the past 4 or 5 years or so.
Yeah,
So
100%.
yeah, so it's going to be fun to watch. Interesting to see how he comes back, how he handles a real heavyweight. And have you seen? I haven't seen much in the way of what Bones looks like right now. It's
He
weird.
Well, Bones has that interesting shape, his little tiny chicken legs he has.
Yeah,
Which is why Cyril would be smart to kick him. But his upper body, he's super big. He looks like a linebacker that happens to be 6'4". Super big. You've been paying any attention to like his workouts the last 4 years. He's been just lifting heavy,
mm.
just trying to bulk up. It's not just fat he was putting on, it's mostly muscle to move up to heavyweight. So I think when you see him in the octagon, he's definitely going to be a bigger guy. They're about the same height,
Yeah,
but he's definitely bulked up a lot. He looks like he could play in the NFL. He looks like his brother.
Brothers, both of them. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean that.
Yeah. Defensive tackle, defensive end.
Does the other one still play? I thought only one of them still played.
Oh boy, Arthur. I think
Chandler.
Arthur. No, Chandler's. He plays for the Cardinals, I think.
Yeah, yeah. I know he still plays, but I don't know about the other one.
Yeah, impressive group of guys right there. Imagine what Thanksgiving table was like at their house. How much they
Yeah,
had to have.
some big guys.
Yeah. So let's see. Looking at the rest of the card for UFC 285.
Bo Nickel, he's that stud from Penn State, the wrestler.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, he's just so much better at wrestling. He's kind of like, Khabib was, but he's in like a traditional American style of wrestling. He's really fun to watch. Jalen Turner, he's awesome. He's really tall. He looks like you could hide him behind a grain of rice, but his striking's fantastic. But Gamrot from Poland, he's really good at wrestling scrambles. Um, I don't really know most of these names. Ian Gary, he's supposed to be the new Ireland guy.
yeah, yeah. He's got a lot to live up to.
Yeah, I don't.
Anytime these
Yeah,
Ireland guys come up.
yeah. Good luck.
Yeah.
And then, oh yeah, man, the Shavkat fella,
Hmm.
I think from Kazakhstan.
Yeah, I don't
He
really know anything about him.
he's nasty, man. That guy, he's a welterweight. Um,
16-0. Wow.
he's nasty. I want him to get a big fight after this one. I think he'll run through hands of steel. Um,
Yeah, he's got four straight dominant wins here. Neil Magny last time submission
yeah,
back in June of last year.
that guy's good, man. Definitely. He's one of those European guys you don't want to run into. So
Yeah. Yeah, good stuff. We got a couple more minutes here before we close out. Did you any other stuff of interest this weekend? Any XFL stuff?
um
Did you see that who was that played? It was 176, 175 in Russell Westbrook's debut.
oh the like double OT game.
Yeah, second most points scored ever.
Did you see the Celtics and the Sixers ending with
Yeah.
Jason Tatum? That was crazy, man. They
Yeah.
should have counted that shot just because it was cool.
Well, and Embiid with his 70-foot heave a
Yeah, that was crazy.
microsecond after the final buzzer.
Yeah, that was tough. Yeah,
Yeah,
I felt bad,
no,
but
yeah, you
heck
feel
of a
bad
shot.
for you feel bad for 30 seconds, and then you move on.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
But that was about it, man. We don't have football anymore, at least, real football. So it's kind of just basketball and guys punching each other in a cage from now on till football season. So
yeah. A couple of guys at work were talking to me about the XFL this week, and I really didn't have a whole lot to say.
yeah, there's not much to say. I mean, it's like enjoyable. I like the first week, but I haven't watched any of it this weekend.
Some of the rules are
Honestly.
pretty cool. And maybe we'll talk about them a little
Yeah.
bit as they get further into the season.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're gonna sign off for today. It's been Jaws and Jaws talking sports, and we'll see you next time.